All right, good morning and welcome back. Today we're going to start off with a little review of what we did yesterday. So yesterday, you recall, we had chords and secants. And if we look at these two examples, this first example is two chords that intersect. You see UW and VX. The second example over here is two secants, and they intersect on the exterior. The biggest difference, a chord stays inside the circle where our secants go to the outside of the circle. They cut through at two places. Okay, so we'll start off with this first one. Remember, if we are solving when two chords intersect for a missing part of it, we know then that this first chord we can multiply the two parts. So 3 times m, and so we'll get 3m. Oh, wait, I made a mistake. That 3 is part of the other one. So 4 times m, and then that will equal whatever this one is, which is 3 times 6. Now we know 3 times 6 is 18. We divide by 4, and m will equal 4.5. And we're done. Now the second one, instead of chords, is secants. Remember for this, one of our secants we have all the information, one of it we do not. So let's start with the one we have all the information for, right here on the bottom. And for that, we want to start with the entire length of that secant. So part of it's 5, part of it's 9. If we add that together, 5 plus 9 is 14 times whatever the exterior part is, which in our case is 9. Now on the top one here, we know the whole thing would be those two added together. So that'll be x plus 7 times the exterior part, which is the 7. Now 14 times 9, we can do that pretty easy. If you can't, use a calculator, but 9 times 14 does give us 126. 7, we got to distribute in, 7x. 7 times 7 is 49. Then we subtract that, and we get 77 equals 7x. We divide by 7, and you'll get x equals 11. And you're done. And I know I says solve for w. I don't know why I put that. It's supposed to say solve for x. All right, now our big takeaway today is what if we have a tangent involved? Once again, you don't need to write all these words, but I would write down in your notes this equation and your picture here. So we have our circle. One of these is a secant, AT. The other is a tangent, CT. The difference, AT cuts through at two places. The tangent just touches. If it would extend, it would keep going, only touch at just that one spot at C, where secant touches at two spots on the edge of the circle, both A and B. Now, just like before, do you see how AT represents the entire secant? BT represents the exterior part. We'd multiply those together, except it equals the tangent. We square the tangent. Okay, so we look here at example 1. First thing we're going to do is what is the entire secant? So the entire secant, 5 plus x times the exterior part, which is 5, equals tangent squared, so 8 squared. So 5 times 5 is 25, plus 5 times x is 5x, equals, then 8 squared, 8 times 8, which is 64. Now we subtract 25. 5x equals 39. Divide by 5, and x will equal 7.8. If you can't do that in your head, use a calculator, that's fine. Example 2, very similar. Once again, we care about the secant. The secant is this, so we need the entire secant, 8 plus x times the external part, which is 8. All of that will equal the tangent squared. So we distribute that in. We'll get 64 plus 8x equals, then 12 squared is 144. Subtract the 64. We're left with 8x equals 80. divide by 8, divide by 8. You'll get x equals 10. And we're done. 2 more to do. Number 3 is a little different, so let's look closely. The difference here is we are going to have just our secant here is got both parts. So to get the total 14 plus 8, add those together. 14 plus 8 is 22 times the exterior part, which is the 8, equals the tangent squared, so x squared. 22 times 8, that will give us 176. That still equals x squared. At this point, we take the square root of both of them. Now, to get the square root of 176, it is not a perfect square. So if we open up desmos.com/scientific, we can take the square root, we said, of 176. And as you can see, 13.26. Let's round in the nearest tenth, so 13.3. And your final one then, so that was a little different. The final one, back to what we've done before, we have our secant here. We got to add those two together, 8 plus y times the external part, 8, equals the tangent squared, so 16 squared. We distribute that 8 in. 8 times 8 is 64, plus 8y equals, then 16 squared, it will be 256. Subtract the 64. 8y equals 192. Divide the 8, divide by 8. Y equals 24. We're done. If you have any questions, please let me know. There are 5 questions to do on Delta Math, so let's get that done. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.